No Kings rallies take place across the nation. A terrorist attack on IDF troops in Gaza. Will this threaten the fragile peace deal between Israel and Hamas? And finally, Trump threatens the country of Colombia by cutting off U.S. financial aid, the next step in his war on drug trafficking. I'm Jarrett Stepman in for Tony Kinnett this Monday morning, October 20th. This is the Daily Signal's top news in 10. The second round of so-called No Kings rallies took place across the country on Saturday to much media fanfare. The anti-Trump protests, featuring a disproportionate number of gray-haired participants, took place in many large cities, including New York and Chicago.
Who are you gonna kill?
Nazis.
Who do you define as a Nazi?
What do you mean? It's pretty...
In this context, who's a Nazi?
Stephen Miller's a Nazi.
So you're gonna kill Stephen Miller?
If I had the chance, yeah, I would.
Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson yelled out to a crowd of rally-goers, quote, "Are you ready to defend this democracy? Are you ready to fight fascism? Are you prepared to destroy authoritarianism once and for all? Let the world hear you, no kings." Boston Mayor Michelle Wu said during a protest in her city that she would fight against the administration's, quote, "illegal attempts to roll back our rights." While the rallies appeared to be mostly peaceful, there were a number of ugly posters and messages being promoted in the crowds. One woman interviewed by the Daily Signal said that the recently assassinated conservative commentator Charlie Kirk deserved to die, among other things.
Something that I've heard in interviewing Republicans is that they're concerned with the health care going to undocumented immigrants. What would you say about that?
I don't know that it's true. Everybody deserves health care, and we can certainly afford it in this country. So again, they're just, they're pointing to things and saying it's our fault, we're too liberal. Yeah, it's really depressing. I don't know how anybody your age even thinks of having children, okay? Okay, millions of Democrats did not vote. Whose fault is that? We need to get ourselves together, and we might even need to be a little bit meaner, because the Republicans don't mind being mean.
And by mean, what do you mean? Do you mean protesting? Do you mean...
Maybe we have to, stop being so nice.
Because you seem like a pretty nice lady.
I'm a pretty nice lady, but I can be pretty mean, too.
Okay, and I have to ask this because people on the other side are going to say that they feel like the Democrat Party has been mean. Recently, with Charlie Kirk being assassinated,
Kirk is a piece of garbage. Of course we were mean. I am so tired of people saying, oh, but, it's a terrible thing. No, Hitler is dead. I'm glad Hitler's dead. Evil people have no place in my world. He was a hateful human being. It was disgusting, the things that he said and did. I don't have time for that. I'm sorry. I have to point my energy in other directions.
Others wish death on President Donald Trump.
So this is your birthday, so you came out on your birthday, you thought it was important. Tell me why.
Absolutely, because I have two little boys who deserve a bright future of freedom and democracy. And this is a nightmare that I'm living in, and I'm here to make a difference and to be loud and proud. And there's no other way I'd want to celebrate my birthday than with my parents and my best friend fighting for our country.
So for a birthday present, what do you hope happens? You wake up tomorrow morning.
I hope that I see the obituary that we're all waiting for tomorrow. That's what I hope for.
You wishing that President Trump is dead?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Well, that didn't take long. According to reports, the Israeli military struck back at terrorists who attacked some of their soldiers on Sunday.
Oo. Sige, agad tinitipiliyot.
The Times of Israel reported on Sunday that 2 Israeli soldiers were killed and 3 more wounded during an RPG attack in southern Gaza. According to Fox News, the Israeli military announced that they responded by striking back at terrorists embedded in Gaza. An IDF spokesperson said on Sunday, "Earlier today, terrorists fired an anti-tank missile and gunfire toward IDF troops operating to dismantle terrorist infrastructure in the Rafah area in southern Gaza, in accordance with the ceasefire agreement." Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said that his country's military would act forcefully against any acts of terrorism against his people. Hamas said it had no knowledge of the attack, which would be a breach of the ceasefire that was signed last week. Hamas said in a statement, quote, "We affirm our full commitment to implementing everything that has been agreed upon, foremost among which is the ceasefire in all areas of the Gaza Strip. We have no knowledge of any events or clashes taking place in the Rafah area." Since October 15th, Hamas has publicly executed Palestinians who oppose them, in violation of the ceasefire deal. President Donald Trump has warned that any further violation of the agreement he helped negotiate could bring dire consequences. Trump wrote in a Truth Social post last Thursday, "If Hamas continues to kill people in Gaza, which was not the deal, we will have no choice but to go in and kill them. Thank you for your attention to this matter." President Trump's war on drug trafficking in the Caribbean continues. The White House announced Sunday that it would be cutting off all U.S. aid to the country of Colombia. Trump called leftist Colombian President Gustavo Petro an illegal drug leader who had been encouraging his country to massively produce illicit drugs that have been making their way to the United States. The 47th president said that this drug production and trafficking is happening despite major U.S. financial subsidies extended to the South American country. Trump wrote on social media, "As of today, these payments or any other form of payment or subsidies will no longer be made to Colombia." Petro responded in Spanish on social media, "Mr. Trump, Colombia has never been rude to the USA. On the contrary, it has greatly admired its culture, but you are rude and ignorant toward Colombia." Petro recently had his visa to the United States revoked after he called for American troops to disobey orders during participation in a New York City protest. Robert Greenway, a national security expert for the Heritage Foundation, explained on X just how much Colombia receives from U.S. taxpayers. Greenway wrote, "The U.S. provided approximately $743 million in aid to Colombia for fiscal year 2023, $505 million for fiscal year 2024, and $210 million for 2025. He further noted that the Colombian government receives nearly half its revenue from exported oil taxes, but declines in oil prices are putting a huge amount of pressure on the country's economy. With that, we're going to leave it there for today. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Have a great Monday. I'm Jarrett Stepman, and this has been the Daily Signal's Top News in 10.